Hi, it's GameCube UK here again. As you can see, this time I'm adjusting the laser voltage on my GameCube. Now this is so I can get burnt DVD-Rs working with this. I've used different manufacturers. I've tried lots of different makes and things. You've got to use Ritek. It's just a bit like in the Xbox, in the PS2 and stuff, where a Ritek G04 die is what you need. Now these do read, but it's like on the very edge of not being able to read. So I'm occasionally getting read errors with burnt discs, with pressed discs, no problems at all. So I figure I can't, there's no other alternative. I can't get any of the discs for these. I've got some spare lasers for this if I need to swap the laser out. But I thought we'll just tweak the laser voltage up a little bit so I can get these discs to read, and we'll do it on the scope. So first of all, I'm covering old ground here. I'll put a press disc in and just power it up, and just for comparison here, so we can work out how much to adjust it. So if I just tweak that up a little bit onto the line, you can see once it stabilises, give it a sec, we've pretty much got two full blocks, which represents just under about 300 millivolts there actually, the way this is set up at the moment. So we'll now do the same thing with that burnt disc. So that's with the burnt disc there, and if we just pull it down a bit, you can see we've just over one block. It's half as visible to the laser. I think it's half as good. So we'll make a little tweak, maybe as much as 20% or something, just to see if that gives it enough so that we don't get the read errors. Like this particular game, it happens every single time right at the start here. As soon as the title screen comes up there, yeah, that happens straight away. On other games, you can get right into the game and play it for a fair bit actually. So strangely enough, what I've ended up doing actually is reducing the voltage. You can see that's a burnt CD. Each block is 100 millivolts, so I've got 155, 160 millivolts there roughly, and it's working perfectly. Now if I try the press disc, you'll see it's it's dropped from the nearly 300 it was in the previous video here, when I first looked at the RF level, to around 200. Yeah, it's a bit more when it's first reading the disc. Once you get onto, you can see it's just over 2 blocks there. Once it gets onto an audio track, it settles down to about that same level. So I would estimate that's about, what, 220 to 25 millivolts. So very low. It might extend the laser life, I think, because we're driving it less. I'm just amazed it works, really. All the original discs are all working fine, and burnt discs are also working fine. So this is after a lot of messing around here. One block there represents 100 millivolts. This is on a pressed disc. So you can see we're at 230-ish, maybe 40, approximately. Now the interesting thing is I think I've actually reduced the laser voltage because these are stock. I think this calibrated to somewhere near to 300. I think mine was about 270, 280, something like that. I've pulled it down in order to get these DVD-Rs working properly. Press discs obviously still work perfectly. So if anything, I've perhaps extended the life of the laser here. So let's just try it with the burnt disc. And this is with a burnt disc. Yeah, I can see it struggling just initially to read when the scope probe's connected, but when the scope probe's not there, it's okay. So that's on a burnt disc, and we've got what, 150, maybe 160 millivolts there. So it's quite low, but yeah, it works reliably. One thing I have found is the burn speed is critical. I know I mentioned it a little bit earlier in this video, but I found that some of the games are burnt at 4 speed because that was working. After I lowered the voltage, they wouldn't work, and I've ended up, because I've lowered the voltage, 2 speed seems to be the sweet spot here. Let me just move that before I get some sort of copyright strike on it or something. So 2 speed is what I've gone with, and actually it seems to be 100% reliable with these Maxell, G04, whatever they are, Ritek discs. No problems at all. That was nowhere near as easy as it is to get CDRs working with, like a PS1 or a Saturn or a 3DO. With those systems, you can use the Verbatim, or even better, the Taio Yuden discs, and they just work. You never need to adjust the laser. Funnily enough, Exos posted some comments on one of my videos just the last few days actually, and I made the point that actually I never adjust the laser in order to get discs working, but in this scenario it's required. I think I did a bit of research on the GameCube, and one of the things I found, a common sort of comment that comes up time and time again, is the lasers on the GameCube are very, very picky, a bit like on the old Xbox. Well, some of the models of the old Xbox, you know, if you got one with like a Samsung drive, those tended to work with most media, but for the most part, all the other drives on the Xbox there, I think, you know, there's a, what's it called, is it Thompson or something, I can't remember the name of the damn thing now. There was a drive on there that would only work with Ritek G04 discs. So yeah, it's a bit like that. You've got to get exactly the right discs, but in this case I have had to tweak the laser just a tiny bit. And I've shown this in previous videos, but that was where the RF test pad is, and obviously you've got your pot there. The interesting thing is, I've adjusted this counterclockwise, anti-clockwise that way, in order to get this working, and that actually reduced the RF level there, which is interesting. So I don't think when you increase the laser voltage, the RF level would drop. It's going to be the opposite way around, as far as I understand. I could be wrong. It'd be nice if anybody more experienced could post in the comments below, but I've seen lots of tutorials and things talking about adjusting this pot here, anti-clockwise in order to increase the voltage, but that's not what we're seeing in terms of the RF level there. It's actually going down. So yeah, if it has reduced the laser voltage, as I suspect it has, there's actually a benefit to tweaking one of these to work with DVD-Rs, which is it's just not what you expect at all. Yeah, post comments down below.